Nick Saban doesn't just get the most 5-star recruits, he gets the most out of his 5-star recruits. Let's talk about why you shouldn't be worried. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in today's video, we don't get a jam-packed video because I think a jam-packed video, that's 3 or more topics. We only got 2 topics, so we're going to keep it nice and chill, but they're still really interesting. What we're going to divulge in today's video is that Missouri, yes, Missouri, we haven't talked about them in probably a year or 2. Their head coach just came out and said that the players are making too much money from the NIL. Or my bad, he didn't technically say that word for word, but that's what it seems like he's trying to say. This has kind of been going viral because it currently has over 2 million views, and he stated that the players are making more than his brother-in-law, who's a pediatrician. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to give you my harsh take on it. But also in today's video, what I'm going to label as the main topic is we're going to talk about Alabama and good old Nick Saban. What are we going to talk about? Well, for the past couple months, all I've seen is everyone saying, oh, Alabama, you know, they're falling off. Oh, Nick Saban doesn't have it anymore. Oh, they don't have a quarterback. What are they going to do? And blah, 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 blah. And arguably dating back all the way to 2007, this is the most Alabama fans have been worried about their team in over 15 years. Everybody's saying, oh, Alabama, their time's over. Georgia's a new dynasty and blah, 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 blah. But in today's video, I'm going to tell you, if you're an Alabama fan, why you shouldn't be worried about this team. It's not just one reason, there's multiple and numerous reasons for that. Yet again, hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you had some fun. Can y'all believe it? It's already Wednesday. Week's flying by. All right, Matt. Blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. Now without further ado. Woo! I'm feeling good. Hope you guys are feeling good as well. You know what? I say first things first. Let's get this minor topic out of the way. Let's talk about old Mizzou, because we ain't talked about them ever. I mean, have we talked about them on the channel? I don't know. So I'm trying to remember, did somebody send this to me or did I scroll across myself? I don't know. The point is, we're talking about it. Barstool Sports, they came out with this article. It's got over 2 million views on Twitter, and it says, Missouri's coach says players are making more in NIL than his pediatrician brother-in-law who saves lives. I read this entire article myself, so I'm going to save you some time. I'm just going to leave it at this. I wish I didn't read it because all I needed to read was this part you're seeing right here. And I haven't even checked out in the comment section, but here's what I'm going to say about this. Why are we talking about it? I don't understand why people don't understand this. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you hate it. It's reality. In this life, you are paid by how valuable you are. Plain and simple. In the Southeast, football is more valuable than a pediatrician. It is. A star football player is more valuable than a doctor. It is what it is. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just telling you how things are. Now, with that being said, as far as it goes for his brother, I respect him a ton. I actually respect that more than football players. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too much, but our world, it's backwards. The people that are literally building our world, the construction workers, the plumbers, the electricians, they're underpaid. You got to think about it. Without electricians, this video wouldn't even be possible. I don't care what anybody says. Electricians, plumbers, construction workers, people that build stuff, they're the most important people in this world. Keyword important, that's my humble opinion. I didn't say most valuable. It's a shame, it really is. Same thing for teachers. Teachers are overworked and underpaid. They're teaching our kids. They put up with a ton of BS, a ton of bullcrap. Go talk to a teacher. They'll tell you. You don't need me to sit up here and tell you all the bullcrap they deal with. The teachers, they're also building our world. And it's the same thing for our doctors, our dentists, and his pediatrician brother-in-law who's saving lives. All the people I listed off, I respect them a ton because they make our world go around. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can cry about it, but I don't cry about things. I'm a problem solver. Let's chat in the comment section. Okay, right here, one of the first comments I see. I'm glad to find out a lot of people, they're seeing this the same way I do. How much merchandise does that pediatrician sell, though? That's what I'm talking about. It's the same thing with women's sports compared to men's sports. Sorry to all the women out there, but nobody cares to watch y'all play. Therefore, you're not valuable. We can't pay you. Don't overcomplicate it. It's supply and demand. That's it. Actually, hold on. I'm scrolling down here, and I'm seeing a lot of comments saying this is poor context. Let me show you this tweet. It's got over 50 likes. Ridiculously poor context. He was using his BIL as context, I think, yeah, brother-in-law as context for how much some players are making and how many bad actors are in his pockets. Or not in his pockets, in their pockets. I don't know what I was looking at. Here's the truth if anyone even cares. And I care about the truth. What about y'all? I was going to get a move on, but I'm kind of invested in this. So let's see what this guy had to say. I'm glad this person tweeted this out because this Barstool article didn't even give any context. Just like this response says right here. Being a Barstool reporter has to be the easiest job of all time. Just find a tiny quote from a whole interview and people are talking about it on Twitter and post it with no story or context. Boom. Done for the day. Here's your 30K a year. That go over 70 likes. That's what I'm saying. This is the first Barstool article I've even looked at. And I already told you guys at the beginning, it was a waste of time. They didn't even give me context, but someone in the comment section right here gave us context, so let's check it out. The reporter said, when you see issues with gambling arising, what is your approach with your team about that issue? Is there an element of surprise or is that inevitable? And here is what Missouri's head coach, Coach Drinkwitz, had to say. Y'all are really trying to get me in trouble here. Deion Sanders had a really good quote the other day talking about young men are joining business, but we want to treat them like kids. We're giving guys 18, 19, 22-year-olds life-changing money. People are making more money in NIL than my brother-in-law who's a pediatrician who saves lives. And we kind of do it cavalier and think there's not going to be any side effect. There's not going to be any issues. There's information out there. There's bad actors always trying to make a dollar. I think it's going to become one of the key issues that we face in our locker rooms. I think it's more prevalent because there's more money involved. Everyone is trying to make a dollar. These young men are getting a lot of money. That is a lot right now. Other than trying to hand out advice and provide some parameters to it, you know, with this NIL situation, we've created our own problems in college sports. Okay, that makes a little more sense. That's the entire quote. Wow, thanks a lot, Barstool, for not giving me this full information. That makes a little more sense. He's basically saying, hey, we're giving kids 18 to 22-year-olds life-changing money, and there's always going to be bad apples in a bunch. But what I said earlier, it still holds true. I mean, hey, football players are more valuable to this world than pediatricians. So therefore, they're going to be paid more money. Well, let me know your thoughts on that. We've already spent too much time on that. We gotta move on to the main topic of the main encore. The main reason you clicked on to this video. We gotta talk about good old Alabama. I'm not gonna give you a breakdown. You know what everybody's been saying about Alabama. Let's talk about why you shouldn't be worried. I got a bunch of reasons, but first things first, let's go with Mr. Obvious here. You got one of the greatest head coaches. And whoa, Matt, what did you just say? No, my bad. He's not one of the greatest. One of. No. He is the greatest head coach of all time. What is my golden rule? There's 4 people in sports I never count out and I never bet against. Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and Nick Saban. Period. The end. Those guys, even though they're getting older in their careers, they can always catch a lightning in a bottle. Well, now that I think about it, Tom Brady's retired, so maybe my list is down to 3 people. But rather less, you get the point. You never bet against those guys, and you can never count them out. You just can't count out and can't bet against Nick Saban. It's always the years that people don't expect Alabama to win the title. That's when they do it. So that's reason number 1. That's the obvious. Reason number 2 is, yeah, they lost some good talent. I mean, great talent to the NFL draft. But they also have a lot of great talent coming back. Dallas Turner, he's going to be a first-round pick next year. And you also got Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going to be a top 10 pick in next year's draft. Those are your stars. Those are your studs that are coming back. But here's what I really want to focus on. Here's what I really want to get into. I think a lot of people just have overlooked this. Or maybe they haven't. Or maybe they just don't care. I don't know. But I'm going to remind you right now. Alabama has the greatest recruiting class of all time coming in. And although I don't expect all of these freshmen to make immediate impacts, a lot of them are. Ladies and gentlemen, Alabama got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, but 12, count them, 12 5-star recruits. Yeah, for those of y'all don't know, that's history and it's not even close. In most recruiting classes, if you can get 3 5-star recruits, that's legendary. 12, it's another level. And to go on top of that, they also got 15 4-stars, but who's counting? They got the number 2 player in the country, Keelan Keeley, who's going to be a stud on the defensive side of the ball. I expect him to be just as good as Dallas Turner. To go along with that, they got the 6th best player in high school, star safety Caleb Downs, who's looking like he's going to start from day 1. Caleb Downs is reminding me a lot of a young Minkah Fitzpatrick who was playing in that nickelback position all over the field. I expect Nick Saban to use him a lot. But here's where things start to heat up, at least in my opinion. They have a true freshman running back who nobody knows if you're outside the state of Alabama. He goes by the name of Justice Haynes. The greatest comparison I can give you is a mix between, he's built like Mark Ingram. He's about 5'11", 200 pounds, but he's as agile, as shifty as Najee Harris. Very elusive back. I think he's going to have a 1,000-yard season next year. I'd be shocked if he didn't. He looks like a typical Alabama workhorse running back. The dude can play. And oh yeah, by the way, everybody I'm listing off, these are all 5-star recruits. Another guy they picked up, who may not even start, he goes by the name of Desmond Riggs. He's a cornerback. Currently, we don't know who's going to be on the opposite side of the field from Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrion Arnold, that could be the starter, or Desmond Riggs or somebody else. But whoever's playing there, they're going to be pretty good. You got about 2 or 3 solid guys battling it out for that other cornerback spot. I expect Alabama's passing defense next year to be one of the best in the country. It's going to be it's going to be a heck of an improvement. But another guy that everyone's raving about in Tuscaloosa is Qua Rasol. He's another edge rusher. It's going to be hard for him to find playing time, but if he's on that field, he's a force to be reckoned with. They also added a transfer wide receiver who I think is going to shock a lot of people. He goes by the name of Malik Benson. I could continue to go on and on and on. I think you get the point. Alabama, to say they're loaded would be an understatement. The talent Alabama and Nick Saban has coming in, it is just, there's no words for it. It's unreal. And one thing I've learned over my many years covering Alabama, covering Nick Saban, is that talent and Nick Saban, it goes hand in hand. Nick Saban doesn't just get the most 5-star recruits, he gets the most out of his 5-star recruits. And y'all can run to the comment section all you want and say, oh, Matt, 5-star recruits, 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, no star, doesn't matter. And yes, it does. You do understand that 63% of 5-star recruits make it to the NFL. 4-star recruits, that number drops down all the way to about 28-30%. So for you to sit up here and act like, a 5-star by somebody's name, it doesn't matter, you're lying. Look at the facts. Look at the numbers. You shouldn't be worried about Alabama. I don't care what the quarterback situation is looking like. You can look at it from 2 different ways. Hey, we don't have a proven starter. Or you can look at it like, hey, we got 3 decent/good guys battling it out. But this is how I feel about the quarterback battle. It doesn't matter who wins it. They're going to be just fine. Alabama with a mediocre quarterback who just hands the ball off, makes a couple of decent throws, just doesn't lose them the game, is still a top 4, top 5 team in the country. To my Alabama fans, nothing to be worried about, nothing to be stressed about. And to all the Alabama critics, all the haters that want this dynasty to finally fall off, you're in for a rude awakening. It's not falling off anytime soon. It's still going to be around for, at bare minimum, the next 8 to 10 years. I'm curious, though. Let me know your thoughts down below. But